Greetings, everyone. I'm Mark Franks, Head of Developer Relations at aiXplain'd. I'm here with Ahmed and Muhammad from BloomPathAI. This is our second episode of aiXplain'd, and excited to be talking to you guys. We met in person in San Jose several weeks back, and it was nice of you to take me to lunch. It was very pleasurable, and I appreciate the time that I get to know you guys. But why don't you give us a little background about the two of you? Let's start with Muhammad.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having us. So, my background is I was graduated from Alexandria University in Egypt, and then I immigrated to the US. Spent about 10 years between Google and Waymo, and my background basically is software engineering, scaling infrastructure. I spent 6-7 years in Google working on building the platform for document-based or text-based understanding that's used widely in different Google products. And then I moved to Waymo. I was leading and managing the simulation infrastructure team. And then after that, I decided to take a break and explore my entrepreneurship journey. I got reconnected with Ahmed. He's a long friend of mine. We go back over 15 years since college. And we started talking, getting the ideas about the startup, BloomPath, and then we get it running since the beginning of the year. Ahmed, why don't you take it?
Sure, and thanks for having us, Mark. I'm Ahmed. I typically introduce myself in a similar way. I'm an engineer, transitioned to product management, but engineer at the heart. Also graduated from Alexandria University in Egypt, and then started working as an engineer at Microsoft and then Google. And then I transitioned to product while I was at Google. Spent a few years on the product team for Google's developer platform. Mobile's platform is called Firebase. And then spent some time at Google's the Google Assistant developer platform. It's called Actions on Google. Then I left Google, joined Amazon, worked on the developer platform for Alexa voice services. Then moved to Apple, and then I realized that my entire background has been with companies 50,000 people or more, so wanted a little bit of a change. Worked on a startup called Swift Connect, led the product over there, and we did amazing work. In my opinion, we grew the company from early pre-revenue to being like a standard for anything access control related. And then after Swift Connect, I started kind of on that journey of trying to build something on my own. I was very, very fortunate to kind of see Muhammad and realize that he's also in a career break. We met, we explored the idea together. One walking meeting ended up being a daily phone call, ended up being a business that we started together. We officially started the company in May and then started building from there.
Great. So what was the spark? What was the catalyst that said, hey, let's start a company? And then, how did you come up with the idea of BloomPathAI, and, what kind of business problems are you trying to solve? What was the opportunity for you that you saw out there in AI for yourselves?
I can start, and Muhammad, obviously add your part as well. But the problem of helping employees grow and get more productive, grow their careers and become more productive is a problem that we've all faced. If you ask any employee in any company, what is the number one thing that you need your company to help you with? All of them will basically tell you, I want to understand how my growth is tied to the success of the company, and how is the company helping my growth, my personal individual growth. And today, companies don't have an answer to that question. The only answer they have is, go talk to your manager, and your manager is going to help you figure that out. And very few people are fortunate to have amazing managers and mentors that help them navigate that growth. a lot aren't, and you end up in a situation where employees leave or disengage, and both are costly for both the employees as well as the companies. Definitely a problem. We've been thinking about it. Muhammad can tell you more about himself as well. He is a coach by heart. He actually, when he left corporate, he started coaching. And he coaches, whether it's career coaching, even sometimes fitness coaching. Something we learned, Mark, is that you and Muhammad have a lot in common when it comes to your endurance and your fitness work. But Muhammad is a coach as well. So we talked a lot about that concept of coaching and growth, and that kind of helped bloom, I guess, the idea of BloomPath. So it went from like, what can we do there to help, to how can we leverage AI in a way that is similar to how, you know, the Apple Watch helps you with your growth. So can we actually build that concept of an Apple Watch, but in a workplace, and provide that growth continuously for every employee without them having to wait for the perfect manager in order for them to understand how their growth can occur in the company. And Mohammed,
you're not if you wait for the perfect manager, you'll never find them. So and you're speaking to my heart as well. I've had my fair share of really bad or poor or just mediocre managers in my career. So I know that, like you said, it's a common issue, right, that people would love to have. So I'm sure people now listening are like, their ears even perked up more to, tell me more. So Mohammed, tell us more.
I'll give a little bit of background about why I was excited about this problem. That was actually one of the reasons 5 years into my career that I decided, or even earlier, I decided that, okay, I want to become a manager. I want to help out people. I want to be this coach to grow the individual and care about the individual. That was the thing that keeps me out of bed and go to work when I worked for corporate. And then when as Ahmed mentioned, when I decided to quit and I want to build my own thing, I was looking into coaching as one of the directions. And when I met Ahmed and we talked about it, that was very exciting to me, because, okay, I'll do the thing that I am passionate about and aligns with my core value, but I will use my strongest toolkit of software engineering and building software and make it scale. So that was pretty exciting to me.
It helps to have a little passion behind you, right?
Yeah,
it definitely motivates. So tell us, this is your first startup, right? And what are some of the things you didn't expect? Obviously, it's a risk, right? You put you're paying yourself, basically. You've saved money, you invest not only time and money and so forth. And so, it's a big thing to do. And the first one's probably, like anything, scary. So tell us a little bit about, some of the things that were surprising. What are some of the challenges you faced? And, we can go from there.
Sounds good. Yeah. So the first thing that was surprising to me was that, and this is not even when we started BloomPath, it was even before that when I was working at a startup, is how much I had to relearn about things that I thought I'm really good at. So I thought that I'm very good at building products, and not only building, but like the strategy of designing the product, like gathering the right stakeholders, getting the execution vehicles moving, and so on. And then when I started, even working at a startup, I realized that it's almost everything is different. The problems that you're trying to solve, the nature of the problems are different. The prioritization mechanisms are different. The decision making is different. The bias for just building stuff and not waiting to get line up 25 approvals and spend weeks or months sometimes in planning is different. Everything is different. So that was the biggest piece, is just how different that is. The second thing, which is really exciting, is I think there's never been a better time to be in that world of AI and startups. I think the pace at which the technology is advancing and moving right now is just something that I've never seen. It's extremely exciting and motivating. So I think it's like part of like the learning and growth, and part of like, wow, like things are moving at a pace that I've never seen before, and it's never felt like it's the right decision in my personal opinion. And I'm curious to hear Mohammed actually as well, but it's a really good piece.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, and the good learning point that it will always be challenging. That's what I think, that is it now hard, but when it will become easier, it will never become easier. It will always be that hard. But the key thing for it is that I thought I had good grasp on, but still learning it every single day, is the endurance mindset. And just take it one day at a time, and building this 0 to 1. All we care about now is this one customer, and not think about, having the urge of perfecting the engineering solution and making it perfect and scale it and all that. Like we used to build stuff that scales very well in Google and Waymo, but we don't need that now. It's a completely different skill. And celebrating the small wins. And so it's very interesting journey. And the one thing that I'd close with is that it's very exciting time now, witnessing this era of AI, and even being in the contributor side of it. And it's like reading the stories about the dot-com boom and all that 20 years ago, when I was still in middle school, and I did so it's very nice to witness this era.
So you were reading about .coms in middle school. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, I mean, that was when I was in middle school, but
okay. So so if you wouldn't mind, if you could help us out and tell our audience a little about the story around how you started working with us, explain, and what your experience has been thus far.
Yeah,
you
I
want
can
to take that first.
Sure.
And
So we were obviously, like I said, like the technology is advancing at a pace that I've never seen before. And we know the problem we're trying to solve. And what we're trying to build is essentially a platform that, like I said, it's kind of like the Apple Watch, but for the workplace. We started off with a focus on software developers. That's our primary focus. And what we're trying to do is figure out the tools that they use, and then help them, through integrating with these tools, understand how they can plan their day, they can reflect on their achievements, and then how can they map what they do on a day-to-day basis to what is expected from them from the next level, in order to get promoted or grow their career. A lot of this is understanding, obviously, what is going on, and understanding what the individual does, and looking at a ton of unstructured data and figuring out how to like extract meaningful insights from it. So we started off in the very natural, like, all right, let's take a lot of data, give it to an LLM, and see what type of insights we'll get. And we started experimenting, and we started getting some meaningful data, except that we learned that there's so many of these LLMs. Their pricing structures are a little different. The APIs are different. And we wanted to see something that kind of helps us just simplify our developer solutions and simplify our experience. We talked to you guys at aiXplain'd, and it was a absolute pleasure connecting with everybody on the team. Like, the team has been super helpful. Day one, we had a Slack channel going on between us and the developers and the product folks on the team. We're getting amazing support on the design of our solutions. We're still obviously early in a lot of our implementations with aiXplain'd, but we've had a lot of great momentum going in just helping us get started. And then we're just seeing continuous support, whether it's now or as we continue to work. It definitely feels like it's an amazing partnership. So that's kind of the story with aiXplain'd. I'll let Muhammad add as well.
I think you got it all. Perfect. Good job.
Yeah. And so you've worked with our product group, you worked with Noor, obviously, and our solutions team as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your interaction with our solutions team? Because I think you have, what, a stand-up meeting weekly?
We have a weekly meeting, and we have, I mean, when it all started, by the way, like, I mean, I haven't worked directly with Dr. Hassan actually as much, but I worked at Amazon and I heard his name, and then I saw his contribution even after that. So I definitely knew the name. So I kind of like wanted to start by understanding what's going on. What is Dr. Hassan doing? If anyone is going to build a company at the forefront of AI in this era, it's probably Dr. Hassan. So that's kind of like how it started as well. So we initially scheduled a meeting just to meet and just learn about each other. And like I said, immediately he brings in the team. He brings in the Nastia, he brings in Latif, he brings in Noor, and all of a sudden we have like an amazing support system at a time where we just didn't know what to do. So right away we were able to like get some support from Ahmed. We were able to get some support from Noor, Nastia, and the team. So I think that was
of course, Mikdad.
The developers, yes. Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was fantastic. Again, like for kind of people who are kind of still tipping their toes in the world of AI, to get that kind of support early on was amazing. So that's kind of what drew us to the solution for sure.
Yeah, and that's what drew me to aiXplain'd as well, is the people, the culture. You know, when I had interviews with these individuals, you know, I was just so impressed with their humanity, right? Not just their technical capability, but they're just really great people. So obviously that's a factor in this. It's what I like to always say when I talk to people. I emphasize the relation aspect to developer relations.
Absolutely.
To me, it's all about if you can get the relationship and build that trust, just things happen. Just, you know, they have challenges, but, you know, things will, you know, you care about each other and you want to be successful. And, you know, when you work together with great people, you know, magic happens. So that's great. So that's one aspect, you know, I was going to ask about. You kind of answered my next question, which was around, you know, what's unique about aiXplain'd, and obviously culture and the amount of support. Is there anything else that you would reference or say that you liked about us, or what's unique from what we offer from a technology perspective? Can you dive into that a little bit?
I can also give my take, and I'm sure Muhammad will have his as well. I think, like I said, when it comes to the world we're in right now, where there's all of these advancements and all the very quick technology enhancements, sometimes the lines start to blur when it comes to the different capabilities of a certain tool. So like all of a sudden you get, you know, every tool kind of trying to be like the everything. And that's kind of normal in a way. Like consolidation will happen at some point. That's also normal. But from us, it's like I said, it's like we want a simple developer experience. We want to be able to be LLM agnostic in case we want to change what LLM we're using behind the scene. We're able to do that without having to change our API contracts. We know we eventually want to build agents to accomplish some of the tasks for some of our users. And what we saw is a very mature developer experience and an amazing support from the team. So I'm sure there are other tools out there that do similar things, and we're obviously always like exploring and learning about the other tools, but just the level of support we got, and the capability of the platform today is kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think I will double down on the idea of the marketplace and the strong community. I really like these. Having the community and leaning in on and finding the support whenever we need it. That's really good.
That's great. So other people, like, okay, tell me more, about your product. And, I always ask people about, what's your roadmap look like, the developer roadmap. And, as developers, no one can commit to a specific timeline, but, you have milestones and you have dates that you're trying to hit and so forth in your roadmap. Can you share anything around your roadmap and what your plans are? And like, when would you like to see something tangible launched? Just if you can give some kind of idea, because I'm sure people are going, wow, this would be awesome if, because my company could use this, or I'm an employee somewhere and I want to tell my manager, hey, we should do this, and it'd help the team grow, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, go to BloomPathAI and add yourself to the waiting list. That's where you'd start. We are starting to schedule demo meetings with some of the folks on the waiting list, and we are also deploying our MVP with a few launch partners. aiXplain'd actually being one of them. So we
That's
started
good.
yeah, exactly. So again, like that kind of goes to show like the community that the team at aiXplain'd has built, is that not only was the team providing us guidance and advice, they actually volunteer to also become launch partner and work with us to make sure that the product kind of achieves the promise that it provides. So it's fantastic. But yeah, go check out the waiting list. We already are. We have an MVP out there that provides the ability for planning and reflection. We have a lot of exciting features on the roadmap, obviously, when it comes to reflections and how to look back and make sure that what you're working on aligns with what the organization expects and what the business requires. A lot of ways to communicate and share what you're working on with your team and your manager and the program managers on your team. Again, we're starting with developers, so a lot of it has to do with the workflow of developers. There's a lot of tools out there that can help developers do their work, or from IDEs to AI platforms to agents and whatnot. But we're kind of trying to be at the earlier piece. It's like, what am I even supposed to work on? What are the priorities? Is what I'm working on aligned with the right priorities? And if not, let's catch it quickly and adjust the roadmap. So there's a lot on the earlier side for developers that we're building. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. We work on bi-weekly sprints. And we have a lot of exciting features. So sign up, join the waiting list, and would love to show you what we build. And just, yeah, if anyone is interested in being at the forefront and try our MVP, we're happy to do that as well.
Yeah. So you're gonna have some people who could get early access and stuff. So when do you expect to actually? You're going to do some demos, but when will they be able to get their hands on something that they can start working with? Would you say? Just a rough guess. I don't want to put you in a corner or anything, but just
no, for sure. Yeah, there are some people who have access already,
okay.
and we're slowly rolling out the access throughout Q1, and then hopefully will be generally available by the end of Q1 2025.
Awesome.
And anyone can not necessarily sign up, but anyone who wants it can get the deployment going for their organization. Because, like, just to get into the weeds a little bit, one thing that we do is we integrate with a lot of tools that employees or software engineers use within their organization. So we're always very, very mindful of where the data resides from these tools. And we don't want to be a place where like organizations can mistrust us because they give us access to a lot of data. So we always tell that our deployment model is less of bring your data over to BloomPath and more of bring BloomPath to your data. So it's about helping you find a fresh outlook on the data that already exists, and not let's take our data and figure out something to do with it. That's why our deployments are a little bit hands-on, but we're hoping to be able to provide deployments to any customer in a generally available way by the end of Q1 for sure.
Okay, awesome, great. So we're going to wrap this up, but I have a last question, and that's around, because I like asking people about, especially, you've been around a while. We both worked at Microsoft. You've worked at Google, Waymo. I mean, Muhammad, you have some great experience doing a lot of great things as a developer and managing teams and so forth, both building product and stuff. So, you've been in technology for a while. You've seen where it's going. You're excited about AI, but what's your vision? What do you think? What do you think the AI is going in general, and what are you most excited about? So each
I'll let
one.
Muhammad take that one. I answered a lot of questions. I'll let him take this one first.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm excited about what's we're heading to. I like to think with the optimistic way of being more efficient and having AI do all the grungy work for me, and giving me more time to be more creative and do the things that I will be better at, instead of the other approaches of people thinking about AI. So I'm very excited about what's coming, especially with the agents and all that stuff.
Yep, great. And Ahmed?
Oh, I'm in the same boat. I think a lot of people obviously have their worries and concerns, and if AI is going to take my job, and where's the world going, and whatnot. But I think I definitely think that people who know AI may potentially replace people who don't know AI. But I don't see that like whole argument of like AI is just going to take our jobs. I think it's, if anything, is just going to make us a lot more efficient, and will just get us to develop or deliver a lot more things than we were capable of even imagining. So I'm very excited. I'm very optimistic. I think, again, what I've seen in the last 2 to 3 years, obviously, AI has been out there for a while. I did my grad degree in computer vision and AI in maybe 15 plus years ago now. So AI has been out there for a while, but it's just the latest advancements have shown the world what can be achieved. And now it's like the sky's the limit. There's so much that can be done. So it's extremely exciting.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you kindly for taking the time to talk to us, and it's very appreciated. I'm very appreciative of that, and thank you so much for sharing your story and the work and your background. And I'm excited to get my hands on the. So I guess I should join the waiting list myself, and so yeah, I'm excited. I remember when I first was talking to you guys about this, I was pretty excited because I think we have shared vision around. Around development and self-improvement, and trying to reach our potential, and and I know Muhammad being a coach, and I've been in that realm as well, and I love to see people successful. I'm hoping you guys are successful. I'm all about people being successful, and so I'm excited to. I'll have to remember and just go ahead and sign up, and so I get that early look and get to play around. So thanks for spending the time with us. And those of you listening to this, thank you as well for tuning in to our second episode of Explained. We hope you enjoyed the time together with Ahmed and Muhammad from BloomPath. So don't forget, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe to this podcast, and you'll get updates on new and exciting conversations that we have with other AI professionals. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep explaining. See you next time. Bye for now.